So I think I made you guys a sort of promise, or should I say, an ultimatum. And that ultimatum was, if Rey Mysterio and Andrade Cien Almas did not main event Raw this week, and they opened the show with that ladder match that we all knew was going to be the best thing on the show, which, by the way, spoiler alert, it was, I would not be reviewing Raw. Guess what they did? So guess what I'm doing? Good night. Alright, I'm not gonna do that to you. But damn it all, do I want to. Let's get to the show. Take us in, Alicia.
Hey guys, it's the interview queen Alicia Atu here, and I would like to welcome you to a wrestling review by Alyx in Alyx's World. This is a safe space for wrestling fans to be just that, wrestling fans. So at this point in time, I have a favor to ask all of you. Be sure to hit that notification bell so anytime Alyx posts a brand new podcast, you'll get the alert and be able to check out the awesome content. And while we're at it, Alyx is trying to expand his brand. He has a pro wrestling tees store now, so also check that out and support him that way. Thank you so much for hanging with me, guys. This has been the interview queen. Now enjoy the videos.
Initiating login sequence. Welcome to Alyx's World.
Welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host Alyx, just Alyx, and this is my review of the go-home show, for Raw at least, when it comes to the Royal Rumble 2020. That's my review of the show. Just a big fat... Everything else following that ladder match, I'll be fair, I did like what they did with Rollins and Murphy. And I'm giving you an honest answer here, don't quite remember anything else I liked. Becky and Kairi was cute. Kairi basically smacked her ass and told Becky to kiss it, but I wasn't necessarily enthralled by that match. McIntyre and Orton was nice until AJ's crew interfered. Then I was like, oh, of course. So yeah, nothing else outside of that ladder match was actually worth a damn. And they opened the show with that ladder match. Because, right? Like, what is this? Saturday night's main event? That's what they used to do back in the day. They used to open Saturday night's main event with the biggest matches. And then, before all the kiddies went to sleep, they put on the more important matches first. And then whatever else followed, no one cared about. So yeah, I didn't like this Raw. I didn't think it was all that special. For a go-home show, it was very poor. But we're here to break it down, and I hope you like what I have to say. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe, check out everything down below in the description box, and help expand the brand by doing the following. Liking me on Facebook, following me on Twitter at VX1, Alyx's World. Also give me a follow on Instagram. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Super Chat. Emailing me for business inquiries or just to say hi at justalyxsworld@gmail.com. And don't forget to buy yourself a t-shirt at Pro Wrestling Tees. Thank you, Jay Knox and Ashton from TwitWow for your awesome designs. You can even get the Deluxe Man old school t-shirt if you want. So, other than the fact that Royal Rumble is this Sunday, really, nothing about this show is worth a damn. And we'll kick things off with the best part, that ladder match. Rey Mysterio versus Andrade for the U.S., the United States Championship, in a ladder match. I'll be real with you, this was pretty sloppy. There were some really obvious botches. Kind of reminds me of the match Rey had with Eddie Guerrero at SummerSlam 2005, which I still think is an amazing ladder match, but there was a very obvious botch. Maybe one or two I'm not remembering, but one very obvious botch that hurt the match really badly. And it stopped it from being what I thought a classic. When you look at this match with Rey Mysterio and Andrade, on paper, if all the spots hit and there were no mix-ups, there were no botches, this could have been an amazing match. This could have been outstanding even. But when you take into account the three botches, one botch in particular was really bad. The, Miss Rachel Buck.
Seth Rollins is looking like CM Punk and acting like CM Punk. So that is showing me that CM Punk is coming to the Royal Rumble.
That would be nice, Miss Rachel Buck. Thank you for the $10 super chats, but I have to disagree about Mr. CM Punk showing up. Alright, the one obvious botch was Rey Mysterio falling from the titles. He was hanging on the titles, a usual spot in a ladder match, and he's supposed to fall, land on Andrade, and Hurricane Rana him to the mat, which would have been freaking awesome. Unfortunately, Rey doesn't quite land on Andrade and ends up basically missing him, and it looked like Andrade powerbombs Rey instead of Rey Hurricane Rana-ing, is that a term? Hurricane Rana-ing him, hitting him with the Hurricane Rana or head scissors. The thing is, Rey didn't sell the powerbomb. He just got right back up, and it looked even worse. The other spot was, I think it was a code red. Yeah, they were on top of a ladder. They had this whole contraption of two ladders hooked to the leggings, and we have Andrade and Rey on top of the ladder. Andrade was set up for the typical cold red move that Rey likes to do. And I think Rey didn't quite hook himself in Andrade's body. And when he goes to hit the move, Rey accidentally falls off Andrade during the process of the cold red and hits the ladder before he falls backwards. And it looked really, really bad. And there's one more. I'm trying to think, what was the last one I thought was pretty bad? I don't even remember it, so it's not that important. But those two botches I thought were just, ooh. Botchamania. They're going to have a great time with those clips. Outside of that, I still thought it was a great match. I still thought those two did what they were supposed to do. Entertain the audience, get them excited. The spots that hit were nuts. One in particular was the Hammerlock DDT onto the whatever side of the contraption they had on. One of the ladders that was hooked up to the leggings of the ladder setup. It looked like it should have killed Rey. And Rey sold it like it killed him. So, the stuff that was good, the stuff that hit, I thought was great.
Do you think Seth is going to add a female to his group, and who do you think will fit with his
That's a good
group?
question. Oops, sorry. That's a good question, Miss Rachel Buck. By the way, thank you for the donations. I will answer that when I talk about Seth and his group following this match. But yeah, Andrade retains after that crazy hammerlock DDT through the ladder. Afterwards, we see my girl Zelina Vega, who was looking fine tonight, go to the outside and remove the protected concrete, the padding on the concrete. And Andrade goes to do what Rey, goes to do what he did to Humbarto Carrillo some time ago last year. He was going to do it to Rey. But then we see someone else into the fray wearing a Rey Mysterio mask. And when I saw that, my immediate reaction was, that's Dominic. This is when Dominic comes in and wrestles. He's going to beat Andrade for the US title. No, it wasn't Dominic. It was Humberto Carrillo. And I went, That was one of those, you know? One of those moments you just go, I'm pretty sure everyone and their mamas thought that was Dominic. Man, did I want that to be Dominic. I really wanted that to be Dominic. But alright, it's Humberto. Sure, okay. You're going from Rey versus Andrade to Humberto versus Andrade. At least Dominic would have been a continuation of the feud between Andrade and Rey. But, alright, well, let's see what happens. The match, despite the botches, was still good. It was still a really good ladder match. And I really didn't like the fact that they opened the show with it. And on top of that, there was like 2 or 3 commercial breaks. I'm going to say about 2. I'm over-exaggerating, of course. But there was like way too many commercial breaks during this match. WWE knows damn well they can have a commercial-free match. Seriously, they can have a commercial-free match. They shoehorned those commercials in. They didn't have to do that. They have well enough money. You're getting paid $2.5 billion. $2.5 billion over the next 5 years. You can afford to have a 30-minute match without commercial interruptions. I'm just saying. But, whatever. Despite the commercial interruptions and despite the botches, still a good match. And still the best thing on this show. I should tell you how bad this show was. When Rey and Andrade's, I'll say it, worst match to date, which wasn't even all that bad, it was still the best thing on Raw. We's in trouble. We's in troubles. Let's get to this next segment. We have Seth Messiah Rollins, our holy Messiah, praise him, and his apostles, disciples, AOP, the Apostles of Pain. Yes, I just made that up. Authors of Pain. And Buddy Murphy, Sir Buddy Murphy. They all come out, and Rollins is basically telling you all to pledge allegiance to his greatness. Because he is a martyr. He is a martyr. And he is a savior to all of us. We don't appreciate him, but we will. One day, we will all see his true greatness. And Rachel Buck already told you what I feel about it. This is essentially the Straight Edge Society. This is, beat for beat, CM Punk. This is the Straight Edge Society. The only thing it's missing is a woman. Which, by the way, to answer Rachel Buck's question, if I was going to have a female in this group, I would... Who's on Raw right now? I was going to say Dana Brooke, but she's on SmackDown, so that's a no. Why not Ruby Riott? Screw it. Matter of fact, let's go with that. I mean, what else is... No. I take that back, actually. Sarah Logan. Isn't she married to one of the Viking Raiders right now? I don't know. I take that back. Go back to Ruby Riott. The reason why I didn't want it to be Ruby Riott is because I want Ruby to be a babyface when she comes back. But likely more than likely, if she is a babyface, she'll get no TV time. So, all right, sure. A member of Rollins' Straight Edge Society would work as well. I mean, what is this group called? I don't even know what it's called. Well, screw it. I guess it's called the Straight Edge Society until he comes up with a group name. But yeah, I would love to have Ruby Riott in the group. I think she would fit in perfectly. I can see Ruby and Rollins doing really good work together. The segment goes on. Out comes Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. And Rollins is like, hey, you want to fight us 4-on-2? Bring it on! And then Owens and Joe said, nah. It ain't going like that. It ain't going down like that. And here come the Viking Raiders. All four of them enter the ring. Rollins said, see ya! Got the hell out of Dodge. And his other apostles got their asses handed to them. And then it was announced that Rollins and Buddy Murphy would challenge the Viking Raiders to a tag team title match later on in the night. And there you go. So, yeah, Rollins thinks he's CM Punk now, and I think it's hilarious that he feels it's okay to even compare himself to Phil in any sort of way. And I'm pretty sure Punk is going to mention this tomorrow night on WWE Backstage. Because why not? How do I feel about Seth Rollins getting a tag team title match just by demanding it? I don't know. I don't care, quite frankly. The Viking Raiders were boring. They were boring. They weren't doing anything with those titles. At the very least, we have it on people involved in the storyline. Which means we'll get some really good stories, some really good matches with Rollins, Buddy Murphy against Joe and Owens or the Street Profits. We'll talk about the Street Profits in just a second. I have a big rant to go on about them, and I'm going to piss some of y'all off, and I don't give a damn. But yeah, the fact that the Viking Raiders lost to Rollins and Murphy, whatever. They weren't doing anything with those belts anyways. Seriously, the Viking Raiders were facing jobber tag teams as tag team champs. They weren't doing anything with those belts. Do I wish they would have been booked stronger? You're just preaching to the choir right now. I wish so many other people on this show were booked stronger. But that's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream. At the very least, the tag team titles are involved in a legit story that has legs. And they're on Buddy Murphy. I love Buddy Murphy. I've always been a fan of Buddy Murphy. And he's a tag team champ. So, why complain? Why am I going to complain about that? I'm happy for him. So there you go. That's my thoughts on Rollins and his Straight Edge Society becoming tag team champs. And let's hope Ruby Riott actually does come in and become another member of his cult. Alright, is there anything else I liked about the show? Well, I just said Becky Lynch took on Kairi Sane. Seeing Kairi Sane smack her ass and she smacked it hard. That woman bent over and pop, kiss my ass. That's what she told Becky. And Becky's all like, okay. No, she didn't say that. She punched her ass out. That match was just about as predictable as you thought it would be, which doesn't mean it was bad. It was nice to see Kairi get some shine, but she tapped out to Becky Lynch and Asuka beat her ass. So we're having Asuka get all of this momentum, all of this heat, all of the smoke, if you will, on Becky, which is basically telling us Becky's going to beat her at the Royal Rumble. You'll get my thoughts on that when I do my preview later this week. I don't recall anything else I liked about the show. Well, I'll be fair, I did somewhat like what they did with McIntyre and Orton. The stuff with Orton and McIntyre, first off, those of you who watched it, did you notice that Orton was selling for him more than usual? Let me tell y'all something. When Randy Orton likes you, when he likes somebody he's in a feud with, he will sell his ass off for them. He will have better matches with those guys than he does with others. See, he actually liked Christian back in 2011. He actually liked Christian. Therefore, he had better matches with Christian. He actually liked Mark Henry. He actually liked Daniel Bryan. He actually liked McIntyre. He likes McIntyre now. You know, he likes Batista. He likes Triple H. These people that he likes, he will sell more for them. He will have better matches with them. He liked Jeff Hardy. The ones he doesn't like, he won't do shit for them. He won't sell at all. Which tells you one thing, he's probably not the best fan of AJ Styles. Anyways, he sold his ass off. He sold his ass off for McIntyre. When McIntyre chopped him, Orton was like, ugh, my heart. That man froze in time. Like, it was like a late reaction to the chop. It was like one of those, he hit him, he's just like, oh, God. Like, for a second, he's like, did he just hit me? Ugh. And then it got a late reaction on him. Really awesome sell. Everything that Orton did. Yes, he even likes John Cena. I read that in the live chat. But everything that Orton did for McIntyre confirmed once and for all. When Orton wants to be the best at what he does, he is. Because when Orton is really trying, one of the best in the world today. Unfortunately, Orton doesn't try. And he won't try. Especially at this point of his career. He's made millions half-assing. That's Orton. He is making millions half-assing. Imagine how great he could be if he actually tried a little bit harder. Some of y'all sleeping on Orton. I guarantee you, and this is what I'm going to say. Imagine if Randy Orton left WWE and went to AEW. Y'all thinking the Young Bucks and Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix and all these other guys pulling out these spot fests and doing crazy stunts, which I love, by the way. Y'all thinking Orton can't do that? Come on now. Y'all sleeping on Orton if you don't think he can do a moonsault splash. Y'all sleeping on him. I guarantee you, if Orton wanted to, he can do a moonsault splash. He just doesn't want to. Anyways, the match ended in DQ when AJ and his crew came out and attacked McIntyre. And then Orton makes the save. And then RKO's McIntyre. Yay! Because he's the Viper. I do like, this is something I just remembered. I do like the promo McIntyre cut after the match. Where he basically said, Orton, that RKO I didn't see coming. But I want you to see this kick coming at the Royal Rumble. I am going to Claymore kick you. And I am going to win the Royal Rumble. And he said it with passion.
Oh, by the way, Kane V is in the Royal Rumble.
Yes, unfortunately he is. Thank you for that, Rachel Buck. And thank you for the donations once again. By the way, happy early birthday to Sarah Martinez, who is in the live chat. She is going to be 25. Sarah, happy early birthday. I hope you celebrate it. Have a good old time. Is that the only thing left to talk about that was good? Let me look through my list because I'm about to tear this show apart. I don't want any fans who are watching to go, Deluxman was not fair to this show. I was very fair to you. Oh, and Aleister Black beat a jobber in 5 seconds. Literally, the bell rang, ding, 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 pow! Black Mass, 1, 2, 3. So, Aleister Black had his McGregor moment. He had his McGregor moment, if you will. I think that's it. Everything else I thought was trash. Like, legit trash. Okay. So, I want you guys to prepare yourself because I'm about to rip the rest of this show apart. Are you ready? Okay. Brock Lesnar. Here comes Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman, cutting what I felt was the exact same promo from last week. They're not saying anything different. He's reiterating that Brock Lesnar is going to start at number 1 and go all the way to number 30, defeating 29 men. I've already talked about how I don't like a champion in the Rumble unless he's defending the belt. We're not going to talk about that here. But then Ricochet comes out. Oh, Lord. So, Ricochet gets on the microphone, and he starts talking about, he hears Heyman talk a lot about what it means for Brock Lesnar to be the first entrant in the Rumble, and he's heard whispers in the locker room. Some guys are afraid to get in the ring with Brock Lesnar, but he ain't scared, because every night he does things that many men would piss their pants doing, which, I'll be real with you, imagining myself through a 360 or a 630, especially a 630, I would piss my pants.
Where's our truth when you need him?
Oh, Aaron. Don't, shh. We'll talk about our truth in a second. Ricochet, back to Ricochet, says he ain't afraid of Brock Lesnar. Heyman says he must have learned his vocabulary in Wichita because he must be stupid to think he's not afraid of Brock Lesnar, if afraid isn't in his vocabulary. So Ricochet gets in the ring, all slow. I ain't scared of you, Brock. And around this time when he's getting in the ring, the fans are getting behind him a little bit. Like, they're starting to get into it. They're starting to get into the segment, and that's where I went. See, I wasn't going to talk about it, but I have to talk about it now. This is where I went, why the fuck didn't we just build this matchup for Royal Rumble? We all know Ricochet has no chance of beating Brock Lesnar. It's not about beating Brock Lesnar. It's about having a good match. It's about standing up to him. It's about looking strong against Brock Lesnar. Our Ricochet could have used that. Okay? But no, let's not do that with Ricochet. Let's send him out here to get some hope, to get some reaction, only for Brock Lesnar to kick him in the balls. And then that was the segment. Brock Lesnar sees Ricochet come in, kicks him in the balls. Like, right in the baby makers. And then he says, what does he say on the microphone? You should be afraid. I don't know. He said something on the microphone. I don't even remember. But yeah, he kicked him in the balls, and that was the end of the segment. And I just went, you just... How does that make Ricochet at all look strong? See, this is one of those segments where I just go, he would have been better off not confronting Brock Lesnar. He looked like a chump. Ricochet looked like a big fat chump. And the only way that Ricochet can be redeemed here is if he's the one to eliminate Brock Lesnar, which we all know he's not going to be. And that's sad. What the hell was this? Honest to God, I am have always been a huge Ricochet fan. Loved him since loved him since before Lucha Underground. I loved him in New Japan Pro Wrestling with the best of the Super Juniors. I was right, Super Juniors. Love this stuff, man. I've always been a fan of this guy, and I know he has superstar potential. And the way they are showcasing him, it's not working. And I know a lot of people are going to come up here and talk about how bad his microphone skills are. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's The Rock. Okay? I'm not going to even dispute that he needs work on the microphone. I think even he will admit, I need work on the microphone. There are other ways to get over outside of using a microphone. I'm just saying. This is not the way to do it. This is not the way to get Ricochet over. They set him up to look like a chump. Ricochet is not a talker. He's not. He can be, and eventually he should be. The more he talks, he's going to get better, hopefully. Hopefully. But that's not his strong suit. He wasn't a good talker in Lucha Underground. But see, they knew that. Now ask me, how often did Ricochet talk in Lucha Underground? Not that much. On purpose, because that's not his strong suit. So stop putting him in situations where he fails. Ricochet's strong suit is inside the ring. Which is why, when I heard the rumors that he was going to face Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, I got excited. I'm like, okay, that's awesome. But no, let's not do that. Let's have him talk in the microphone, look like a chump, and get kicked in the balls. And then they wonder why no one gets over. I hated this segment. Last week was awesome. R-Truth on the microphone was brilliant. Mwah, mwah, sweet. One of the best segments I've seen on Raw in a while. This was the complete opposite of it. This was trash. And y'all knew it was trash. You knew it was going to be bad because you know that Ricochet is not R-Truth. So I hated this segment. Downright couldn't stand it. We see Charlotte backstage. She's all confident that she's going to win the Royal Rumble. Which, we'll talk about that on Wednesday when I do the Royal Rumble preview, if you will. Or whenever I do it, either Wednesday or Thursday, I'll let you guys know. And then I believe that's when we got... I'm trying to remember, like, were there any other backstage segments that happened during that time? When did Mojo Jojo Rawley have his 24/7 segment? Was that before the main event? Okay. Then what came after that? Was that Eric Rowan and Matt Hardy? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So, someone tell me why. Tell me why. I know why, but still, tell me why one of the premier tag team wrestlers in all of wrestling, Matthew Hardy, was seen jobbing out like an actual jobber to Eric Rowan. Let me guess, because his contract is expiring, right? And he's basically told WWE, I'm not going to sign. If you don't watch his YouTube channel, which Matt Hardy is noteworthy for, notorious for, which means you all should be subscribed. But if you haven't seen it, he has announced that his contract expires March 2nd. So he's on his way out. He doesn't plan on staying. He's gone. Nat is gone. So knowing that WWE is doing everything in their power to feature him in a way where he's not strong, which they should know is not the best way to feature your talent, because all that does is make them look stronger when they eventually leave. But whatever. This whole storyline with Eric Rowan, which, by the way, he did the exact same thing he did last week. He put his hand in the cage and got bit by that freaking animal, whatever the hell. Apparently, it's a living animal. It's an animal. Bit his hand and it's bleeding. I'm like, okay. So why would you put your hand in there again? They wonder why these guys get no reactions. It bit you the first time last week. Why would you put your hand back in there like it wasn't going to bite you again? And then he got angry and started pounding the cage up and down. Like, what? None of this makes any goddamn sense. None of this makes any goddamn sense. I'm sorry. It makes no goddamn sense. But yeah, he beats Matt Hardy. And there you go. This is Matt's career until his contract expires. He's just going to job out week in, week in, and week out until it's all over with, right? Whatever the hell. I don't give a damn. And now we talk about this segment. Oh, this segment. Street Profits. They do another SNL / ripoff of SNL weekend update called the Monday Night Update or something like that, where Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins are seen looking like buffoons. They're cutting these jokes with these horrible pumped in crowd noises. The crowd's not reacting to it. Nobody's getting over here. They're telling these corny ass jokes that I guarantee you are only funny to one person. Ain't that right, Vince? And then R-Truth is in there. And as soon as I saw R-Truth, I grabbed the remote. Fast forward. R-Truth was coming off one of the best segments. One of the best segments in his career last week. You had momentum with R-Truth. And in 1 week, gone. In 1 week, gone. So, is that what we all are to you? Just people who's supposed to dance, make you laugh, Vince? This was horrible. I don't give a damn what anyone says. I'm pretty sure some people liked it. I didn't like it whatsoever. This is stupid. And to anyone who wants to make the dumbass argument, hey, at least they're getting TV time, find the nearest lake or ocean. The nearest place that you can jump in and drown in and do so. Because I don't need fans who are corporate, who aren't getting paid by WWE to be corporate, telling me that I'm supposed to like a segment because they're on TV, because they're getting paid. No. In my opinion, I would rather Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins be in catering, getting paid for free, than being on TV looking like buffoons. Every week they do these segments, they look weaker. They come across as jokes. Jesus Christ, man. Like, I don't get it. Like, what is it with this company taking NXT prospects that are legit talented and showcasing them in a way that is clearly not meant to get them over? You cannot tell me this was designed to make fans like them. This was designed to make them look like idiots. Buffoons. Har 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 har, Vince. I hated this segment. So, easily the worst segment of the night. I don't give a damn what anyone says. Y'all can sit here with your, oh, well, you know, at least they're getting TV time excuse all you want. No, bruh. Nah, this ain't it. Same thing with Shorty G. I hate saying that name too. I would rather Chad Gable be back in catering. I'm sorry, like, it's so horrendously bad the way they showcase these NXT prospects. They do it on purpose. You wanna know why they do it on purpose? It's because they weren't created by Vince. Vince didn't get them over, Triple H did. And so because Triple H did, what they have to do is break them down to their absolute nothing and then build them back up. Screw this segment, man. Mojo Rawley. Sorry. Mojo Jojo Rawley was seen backstage with the 24/7 championship. And then he met the Sane brothers. And then he beats up the Sane brothers. Throughout this entire segment, listen to the crowd. You know what you hear? You hear this. Crickets. That was the segment. Crickets. Crickets. Seeing the 24/7 title on Mojo Rawley proved to me one thing only. R-Truth is a Hall of Famer. R-Truth is the only thing that could make something stupid like the 24/7 championship work. And once that title, well, once he retires, especially, that title will definitely, that should be retired, honestly. It should be retired before he retires, but if the title is still around while R-Truth career ends, they should retire the title with R-Truth because, man, like, this 24/7 championship is a symbol of WWE not knowing what the hell to do with anything they're given. But when you have talent like R-Truth who can take what's given to them and make gold out of it, it's a showcase of who he is. And R-Truth, I swear to God, one of these days should go into the Hall of Fame. Because he was given so much crap and he's made gold out of it. Just saying. Last but not least, the match that did main event the show, not the ladder match, was Lana and Lashley versus Rusev and Liv Morgan. And as soon as I knew this match was closing, I said, y'all better have something planned for this match. Y'all better have, y'all better have Lana and Liv ready to make out. Like Lana is saying, you know what, I'm tired of Lashley. I'm going to cheat on you in the middle of this match with Liv Morgan. That kind of stuff. This better be some MTV, Jersey Shore, balls to the walls kind of booking. And that's what's pissed me off about this Lana, Rusev, Lashley, Lana storyline. First off, the fact that it exists pisses me off. But what made the wedding notorious was, despite it being bad, it was so bad it was good. You know what I mean? It was one of those Crash TV type of segments where literally everything was happening. Anything and everything could happen. And I told myself, you know what? If you're gonna go all the way off the rails, then go completely off the rails then. You know, I wanted them to have Lana get with Liv, which they can still do, but I wanted them to do it a lot sooner than this. And then have Lashley and Rusev team up for a little bit, and then we have Lana get back with Rusev, and then we just do that whole going back to the beginning kind of craziness, and just going completely insane with this storyline. Like, it's already stupid. It's already off the rails. Go all the way with it. And these past few weeks, ever since the wedding, they've done nothing with it. Literally nothing with it. Lana is just with Bobby Lashley, and that's it. I'm like, so what was the point? Like, dude, you took us through hell with this crap last year. You got us to the wedding. You gave us a segment that some people actually enjoyed. I thought it was bad, and in a way, kind of enjoyed it myself, but not in the way that many people did. I enjoyed it in a bad way. It was so bad it was good. And then you did nothing with that. You've done nothing with that. You just had them come out and just do random stuff. And then you gave them the main event tonight, and they did nothing.
Do wife swap or something instead of this.
You know what? Maybe they should have brought in Jerry Springer. Maybe they should have brought in Mari or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know anymore. This is so goddamn stupid. It's stupid. It's boring. No one cares. And let me just say this too. I hate when people say, this is what you asked for, right? It's the Attitude Era. Again, find the nearest pool, find the nearest lake, find the nearest place you can drown in, and do so. Because no one, when they said, we want the Attitude Era back, was talking about Jerry goddamn Springer. They were talking about the amount of characters, the amount of stories, the awesome segments, the awesome feuds, the craziness, the unpredictable TV that we got. Not this. The stuff that Lana, Rusev, Liv Morgan, and Lashley's doing, this is Mae Young giving birth to a hand attitude era. No. This is the Kill from Hell attitude era. This is Bossman versus Undertaker Hell in a Cell attitude era. No. Just no. And the worst thing about all of this is that Rusev gets pinned, Lana helps Lashley pin Rusev again. And the feud is going to continue. Why? God damn it, man. This is bad. This show sucked. I did not like Raw all that much. Despite the good ladder match and despite other stuff that I liked, which was like, what, a good hour? So a good hour of the show was good. The other 2 hours were just trash. Sorry. A third of the show that's good doesn't make up for the rest of the show being terrible. It doesn't. So this show sucked. And my hype for Royal Rumble, here's the sad part. Despite this show doing a very poor job of hyping me for Royal Rumble, because it's the Royal Rumble, I'm still somewhat excited. The excitement is still there because it's the freaking Royal Rumble. It's the Royal Rumble. It's kind of hard to not get you excited for the Royal Rumble. But we have to be honest with ourselves, guys. Once we get past the Rumble, we still got February and March, 2 months until WrestleMania. That's 60 days of what will most likely be poorly written TV from WWE. And then after WrestleMania, we'll have 3 more months until SummerSlam. And I'm sick of it, dude. I am sick and tired of it. So this show can go straight to hell. Thank you guys for watching my review. I could not believe how bad this show was. It's horrendous. Just straight up boo-boo! Lord, we got some super chats coming in. I'm gonna let that go. And thank you all.
That is why SmackDown is the B show.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. And also thank you, Rachel Buck, for your donations throughout the entire night. This week, we still got my Rumble preview. We got the AEW NXT review. We have SmackDown review. And then this weekend, Worlds Collide review. And then the Rumble review. And then if I'm home, live reactions. If I do not go to the Royal Rumble, which is the plan, I'm still trying to get money for that. But if I do not go to the Rumble, I will be home for live reactions. You will catch me here, live on YouTube, for live reactions. For both the men and women's. One last thing before we go. This is the last day. The last day to get into the Royal Rumble contest. This is it. If you have not entered the Rumble contest, you gotta do it now. As I am looking at the Facebook page, we are fastly approaching 200. So we got a big boost in entries. So we're getting close to 200 people now. If you have not signed up for the Royal Rumble contest, there are multiple ways to enter now. I have opened the gates to enter more than just Facebook. But the the usual way to enter, which is in the description box. You like me on Facebook. You find the status that says enter here. You like the status to be sure you're secured, and then comment, I'm in. Well, once you're in, you will be selected a number between 1 and 30. And then once that happens, that will be your number for the men and women's. If your number wins the Rumble, whichever one, men or women, you will get a chance to choose a video topic or a show to review. You will earn that opportunity. So, if you cannot enter, this is important, if you cannot enter through Facebook, I will allow you to enter through Twitter. So how you do it? Here's how you do it. On Twitter, I want you to send me hashtag enter the Rumble contest. Now, I'm putting this in the live chat. So, you're going to send me hashtag enter the Rumble contest. And then you're just going to say, I'm in. On Twitter. That's all you got to do. Enter the Rumble contest. On Twitter. And I'm in. Now, if you can't use Twitter, I will also allow you to email me. justalexsworld@gmail.com. You can email me, enter the Rumble contest. I will accept that as well. So once again, if you cannot enter through Facebook, you can enter through Twitter by sending me a tweet with the hashtag enter the Rumble contest, or you can email me and I will put you in. The last day to do it is today. Today is the last day. Once it closes, you will not be in. I've been promoting this since December. This has been going on for a month now. So don't get offended. If you don't get in, you can always get in later. So, I hope you guys have a great time. Thank you all for joining me. And until next time, this is Alyx, just Alyx, signing out. And I'll catch you next time in Alyx's World. Peace.